Hey guys, so I have been on the road in this van. So I've been on the road since May 19th, but I've been in this van since July 23rd when I drove up from Phoenix to Payson and then from Payson made my way over to Sedona where I currently am. I am definitely discovering that there's a big difference between how I live in this van when I'm working and when I'm just traveling. I'll kind of explain what that means in a second because it might just mean driving to some people. That's not really true. When I left Phoenix, when I built this van, it took me a week to build this van. And you can see, I have storage space under here. And if you know me or you've followed me at all, or if you're just getting to know me, I do telescoping. I do sidewalk astronomy. That's how I make my money. And I have telescopes, I have tripods, I have equipment, I have science fiction books that I write, I have photography that I do, so I take all that with me. So I'm a very physical work kind of person compared to a lot of people who do remote work when they live out of their vans. And that means that I needed storage space. Even though, for me, this is a pretty big van. This is just a 2015 Ford Transit Connect XLT long wheelbase. When it's parked next to some other camper vans, this is teeny tiny. And it definitely, you can, even though it has storage space, I made sure to build it so that there was plenty of storage space for all the big stuff I have. This requires me to have a very cramped interior, especially right in front of the bed area, because I have some jackeries and solar panels and stuff, and it can get very squished very fast because I have food, I have a refrigerator, I have a bin for just miscellaneous storage for shoes and other things I have. When I'm just traveling, when I'm just camping somewhere for the night, or if I'm staying somewhere for an extended period of time, it's very easy to live out of this. I can just flip the bed and keep it like that for days at a time. Just have to lift the corner to access the fridge, and it's easy. When I'm working, it's a whole different story. I'm every single night for about 11 to 15 days out of the month. I'm constantly getting out the telescopes, getting out the stock, getting out everything, use it, and then put it back in. Playing Tetris every single time. You'd think I'd have a system like I did with my Kia Soul where I knew where everything went every single time, but I wasn't living out of the Kia Soul. And there's kind of this ebb and flow of just how much stuff I have in the van at any given point, based on food, based on how much water I have with me at any given point, how much trash I have in a bag at any given point. Laundry's up front, so it's you can't see it, but my laundry bag is also pretty big right now. This is my suitcase, and I don't have a shelf to hold clothing yet. So this takes up physical space, and I have to move it every single day, particularly when I'm working. When I'm in my middle of my 10 to 15 days of working, it's actually tougher to live out of this because I'm constantly moving stuff around. I'm constantly shifting things around. It makes it much more intense to live in. Whereas when I'm traveling, I'm not moving anything around. I'm taking out food. I'm maybe changing clothes. I'm not showering as much. It's just easier to live when I'm not working out of here. So definitely when I do an upgrade, definitely at some point when hopefully in the next year or so, when I can upgrade to something bigger, I want to be able to, number one, reduce the amount of space that all of this takes up and open up the space for storage. And I have to move it every single night when I'm doing the work. I need to get some upper space. On my Kia Soul, I had the bag up top. When I go back to Phoenix, middle of the week, I'm considering taking the bag off and putting it on here. But I think what I would prefer is a metal rack to put up there. That would allow me to take out some of the stuff down here and put it up top and just not have to worry about it for those 3 weeks that I'm not working. And it would sort of make the Tetris game easier when I am working, because I've been finding that almost every day I am changing how I put things back into the car because I'm trying to figure out the most efficient way to put things in the van. problems I'm finding are my solar panels. I don't have mounted solar right now. That would be something that I change in the next van. Take my freestanding Jackery panels and just mount probably 200 watts of solar up on top of the van, like most people do. And what I'm doing when I go to the cafes and the restaurants and stuff is I'm putting those solar panels up on top. I have some Velcro up there to hold about 30 pounds of force. So I am putting solar on top of my car when I know I'm going to be someplace for a couple hours in the daytime, but then obviously at nighttime I can't keep it up there when I'm driving because the wind will chuck it off. So at nighttime, the solar comes inside the car. I would need mounted. I think that's what I would want to switch to living like this. The freestanding Jackeries have been great. I have used them nearly every single day for the past year and a half. Virtually everything I own is charged off of the solar. I have about 2,000, 3,600, about 4,300 watts of storage capacity, which based on how I use things, that's somewhere between a week and a month, depending on if I'm running the mini fridge. That takes up, especially in hot climates like this, that takes up a lot of energy. When I was in Idaho, the fridge was taking like 3% a day. Down here in Arizona, it's taking 20% a day. It's a massive difference in energy consumption simply based on the temperature of the air and the sunlight coming through the windows. This right here, a lot easier when I'm just traveling and I'm not working, because I can just put my camping stuff wherever I need to. Right now, every single night, I go and I take all of this up here and I put it in the front two seats. I don't really have to do that when I'm traveling. When I'm working, all of that goes in the front two seats. But when I'm traveling, I'm by myself. I can throw it up on the roof overnight. No one's going to do anything. Nothing's going to be up there. I don't have any food in there either. So I'm not worried about most wildlife. And I can put some stuff under the van too when I do that. But every single day, driving out of Sedona, driving back into Sedona, I pull all this. I keep the bed flat until I go to my little area where I just kind of spend the morning. And then I put all this in the back, I fold up the bed, I clean everything up so it's all tidy. I come to Sedona, I do my work. This is kind of me on break right now. I have about a half hour before I have to go set up the telescoping. And then I do telescoping, pull everything out, do telescoping, put everything back in some jigsaw way. And then I go to my parking spot overnight, where I sleep. And then I wake up, pull all of this out of the front seats. I drive over to where I spend my morning. I fix up the bed, do everything. It's just this cycle. It's what I've been doing now for the past week and a half. It's a lot of work. So I need to do two things. I need to find a better system. That's, this is me in my first 10 days of living in a van. So I'm literally keeping a list in notes of what I need to do to make life easier. And the other thing I'm doing is, what don't I use? What is here just as extra weight, and what is taking up space that I'm not using? So figuring stuff like that out. I am trying to get rid of some things. Getting rid of the solar, the in and out solar, the freestanding solar would be great. I am contemplating just keeping all that until I upgrade to a different van, at which time I could just mount things up there, not have to worry. When I'm traveling, it's a very efficient system. It's so easy. The 4 days I was traveling before I came to Sedona in this, it was so easy. And the past 8 days here have just been, it's been easy. I've enjoyed it, but it's very labor intensive to move all this around every single day. And that's what I need to work on. No, I'm new to this. You look at this and you see how packed it truly is. And if we come around here, just look. I'm going to open this and you'll see just how much stuff. The solar panels right there, those are typically stored under here. But me and my jigsawing yesterday accidentally put the solar on top or underneath, or sorry, the wheels too high up. So funny thing happened yesterday as I was filming that portion of the video. My phone began to overheat, so it automatically shut down, of course. So just I'm at, it's the next morning. I'm at where I kind of like stage for the morning before I go back into town. And just want to point out, I did move the solar panels that were down here, and they're now stored where I typically store them because that's just a better spot for them. You can see, the power banks and everything. I have this all folded up. That kind of just drops down to hide everything. And yeah, like I was saying, I go east here in about 4 days. I'll be going back to Phoenix, switching out the van for my Kia Soul, and then I'm going on a family vacation, so I'm driving over to South Carolina, dropping off my Kia Soul with my family and leaving it there, and then flying back to Phoenix, and then going to a conference, and then getting back on the road in the van. So in all of that, I already have a list of some things that I don't want in here anymore. That are just taking up unnecessary space, that just make things inconvenient. So I will be downsizing a few things and going from there to hopefully make, round 2 much easier on the workload, on the space load, and just a better experience overall. Like I said, I'm loving it, and it's just when I was traveling, it wasn't as inconvenient for the stuff I have. But now that I'm in my work phase, I have definitely noticed things I need to get rid of and things I need to do a little bit differently. And of course, there's the issue of I only have so much space in the van, and when I can finally upgrade to something bigger, I definitely will. When I can put some storage up here, I definitely will. And just there's a reason it's the first one, and I'm just starting out, and it's gonna get even better. I'm loving it. This is the lifestyle that I already lived, except I was paying $1,300 for rent and $300 for utilities. So now I don't have that. It's gonna be much better overall. Cool. So I'll just close up here since I hadn't realized that the camera overheated yesterday, and I went on this big long tangent where I had closed up the video for like 3-4 extra minutes, then found out that it wasn't recording. So that's why I'm here now. Cool. I have like a dry shampoo today. It's not a shower day. I'm gonna change clothes and then head back into Sedona, and I have today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then I go back to Phoenix and head east. Cool. All right. See you, everybody.